Jar Jar Binks is perhaps one of the most consequential characters in the entire Star Wars universe. A clumsy, somewhat goofy Gungan who played a key part in the events of the Trade Federation's invasion of Naboo, he aided Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi in escaping Naboo alongside Queen Padmé Amidala, and later participated in the Battle of Theed. Following Naboo's liberation, Jar Jar's exile was ended, and he returned to his people. Boss Nass charged Jar Jar with finding an old Gungan relic called the So Shiny Day Blob Ball. With the help of Queen Amidala, they were able to retrieve the relic, which turned out to be a rare snack, and Boss Nass had just had the munchies. This did allow Jar Jar to become closer to Amidala. Once her time as queen was over and she was elected to the Galactic Senate, Jar Jar became a junior representative for Naboo, after Mon Mothma suggested that Amidala add one to assist in her affairs. Jar Jar was forced to play a far larger role than the average junior representative after Senator Amidala was forced into hiding following several assassination attempts. As a result, Binks agreed to stand in for her in the Senate during one of the most crucial times in the lead up to the Clone Wars. Unfortunately, Binks was gullible and easily manipulated. Chancellor Palpatine knew this and enacted a plot to convince Jar Jar to vote for the creation of the Grand Army, something Senator Amidala would have opposed. Jar Jar was the lead voice in suggesting that emergency powers were granted to Palpatine, which allowed him to start the Clone Wars. During the Clone Wars, Jar Jar was involved in several conflicts. He helped to save the life of Captain Rex on Mimban after Jedi Master Lon Teek was killed. Binks was a ranking member of the Republic forces and took command. He later used the Jedi's lightsaber to save Rex, who had been wounded by Separatist forces. Binks would travel to Toydaria with Senator Bail Organa, as the Republic wanted to use the planet as a staging ground in the upcoming Battle of Ryloth. He was present on Rhodia with Senator Amidala as they sought to ensure the loyalty of the Rhodians. Amidala was taken prisoner by Newt Gunray, who had arrived on Rhodia earlier. After donning a Jedi robe, Binks was able to locate the Senator and help her escape with the assistance of a Quazel Maw creature, before Republic reinforcements arrived and were able to apprehend Gunray. Jar Jar was also sent to deliver a bounty to the pirate Hondo Ohnaka, who had captured Count Dooku. However, after one of the pirates double-crossed the delegation, the ship that Binks was on was shot down, leaving him once again in charge of a squadron of clone troopers who were accompanying him. Jar Jar and the clones were able to defeat the pirates, however Dooku managed to escape. In the course of the war, Jar Jar's homeworld wasn't spared. Some months after the war had started, Naboo was the target of a biological attack from the Separatists, who had set up a secret lab on the planet where they developed an airborne strain of the Blue Shadow virus, which threatened the entire planet. Binks and Amidala, who had been summoned back to Naboo by the Queen, discovered the lab and were able to stop the plot before the virus could be released to the wider population. As the war raged on, tensions between the Gungans and humans on Naboo grew. Some believed that the Gungans were aiding the Separatists. At one point, the Gungans threatened to march on Theed itself. Binks was sent to try and defuse the situation alongside Jedi Anakin Skywalker. They discovered the Gungan leader was being mind-controlled by one of his advisors, who was working for Count Dooku. Shortly after, Binks was forced to confront General Grievous, who had arrived on the planet. Leading a group of Gungans against Grievous's droid army, they were able to apprehend the general, but had to release him in a prisoner exchange for Skywalker, who had been trapped by Count Dooku. Jar Jar remained in his position as junior representative all the way to the conclusion of the war with the Jedi Purge. Jar Jar Binks was present in the Senate when Chancellor Palpatine created the Galactic Empire, effectively bringing an end to the Republic and democracy after over 1,000 years. With the death of Senator Amidala, Jar Jar lost his position in the Senate and returned to Naboo. He attended the funeral for Padmé, and his fall from grace began. As the Empire rose, the people of Naboo found themselves in the iron grip of the regime. Power was taken from the ruling queen and handed off to Moff Panaka, the former head security officer during the Separatist invasion. Panaka would be assassinated by Saw Gerrera's rebels in Free BBY. Whilst Naboo didn't suffer as badly as other worlds, owing to it being the homeworld of the Emperor, the people still resented the Empire and Palpatine. They also resented Jar Jar Binks, the most famous Gungan in the galaxy, where once he had been a hero who helped to liberate their world and performed brave acts in the Clone Wars, He was now seen as a key enabler in the rise of the Empire. He had given power to the Emperor, who would use that power to destroy the Republic and wage war in the galaxy. After the fall of the Empire, Jar Jar was left destitute and exiled. He was forced to perform in the streets of Theed as a clown, popular with children but hated by adults.